So this is today's meal, and we're going to be reviewing these books. So, I have to wash the glass because I did the stupid thing and I wore my socks out.
Ooh.
So now I have to make sure
Do you want me to get your schmummers?
No, that's okay.
No, you'll forget. There's a lot of glass there.
So, I suppose of these three books, I actually liked this one the most, but none of them are really that good.
Yeah, there's some bad books.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for not stepping in it. I'm amazed you didn't. Yeah.
I don't know if it was the wind or the raccoon.
It would have been the wind. It was during the day, I think. So, what drinks have we got here?
Bell pepper, grape. That one's a mixture of the sweet purple grape and the really sour green grape. So I don't know how that'll be.
Yeah.
And ginger. And that's the right temperature for you to drink right now, the chocolate.
That's chocolate.
Yeah. Okay. So I figure you can kind of use that as a chaser.
Yeah.
You'll probably only need a sip of that as a chaser.
Well, I'm going to drink the ginger first. Okay.
And we have a sprouted coconut, basil, butternut squash soup. So the sprouted lentils in there. So I guess I may as well get started. Now, this one is a plant-based book, and I didn't have too many recipes that I made note of out of here, honestly. Her tastes are not like my tastes. So I'm not interested in the flavors that she uses for the most part. She uses, like this one, Martian macaroni. I really don't think any child would ever eat that.
Martian macaroni?
Yeah.
It's green.
Green. But...
Well, it's a good idea, but, yeah, it won't work for the kid. It'll look too much like veggies.
I mean, she puts pistachios in it, which is interesting. Mint leaves. I don't think there's any child that wants to eat mint leaves. Really.
Oh.
No. And spinach and peas and
oh my
celery.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just there's no way.
Well,
you know what? I'm gonna try it on you just to see.
Yeah.
Because if James would eat it, then a kid would.
Of course.
Yeah. But anyway. So later on today, I'm going to try this cardamom rose beet latte, which I'm not sure exactly if I'm supposed to put it with coffee or not. I don't know. The recipe doesn't really say, but it makes my drink look like a pink cloud, which I think I would like, but I don't know what to do with it. But
they don't give a picture, but you're figuring it's going to be pink.
Well, it will. It has beets in it.
Yeah. Well,
but
beets are amazing.
Anyway, I'm going to try it out because I do like the flavors of cardamom and vanilla and rosewater and maple syrup. So I might like it, but I don't know if I'm supposed to put it with coffee or not. I'm just going to try it just on its own and see. Anyway, there's the recipes in here. Even though it's suggested to be really healthy, over 100 anti-inflammatory, plant-based, well, she's using olive oil for cooking, and she's using a lot of things like maple syrup and stuff like that, which I know
it's got zinc.
Yes, but
sugar and zinc.
It's
2 thumbs up. Sugar
yes,
and zinc.
for Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you use grade B maple syrup, you'll get zinc. But I don't know how much. Anyway, it's not a nothing. But
it's not like regular sugar.
You shouldn't be aiming to use a lot of sweet things anyway. If you're wanting to go anti-inflammatory, you're going to have to give up some sweets. And eventually, other things taste pretty sweet. When I drink this bell pepper juice, it's actually good for me now. I don't need to have a chaser with that.
Yeah, if you drink a little bit of ginger, I mean that stuff
that when you need a chaser.
Awesome. But you know, there is something about, you know how they say sugar is addictive, you say it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have one and you won't, you know?
Exactly. And so
it's not the same thing as popcorn.
Now I have to admit, I tried the recipe from page 237. I'm not good at following recipes, so I tried the recipe, but instead of making it pistachio and cardamom donuts with rosewater glaze, I figured, wow, she really goes crazy with the pistachio and cardamom flavors, and plus later on today I want to try the beet one with the same kind of flavors-ish, right? Not the pistachio, but anyway. So I thought, well, I'll make them chocolate, and instead of putting the pistachios in there, I did use almond flour and everything, but I used ground walnuts instead of the pistachios. So, and as you can see, I made them a chocolate walnut instead. And I was planning to put a maple glaze on these donuts, but the one thing I want to say is, if you're using almonds instead of other flour like wheat flour for baking, I don't know how much healthier it really is. It's certainly a lot more expensive. And if you're making these donuts where you have to use this pan, this Teflon pan, sure, they're cute, but
I thought nothing was supposed to stick to Teflon. Wow! There we go.
So, anyway, I tried to pull them out of there. Now, I did grease the pan also with some coconut oil, just to be sure, because I was looking at the recipe and going, I don't know, because, I mean, there's sweet stuff in there. There's maple syrup and stuff, and I thought, you know, I have actually had an experience with waffle iron before, where it called for something sweet, and it might have been maple syrup. And so my brain was telling me I better grease that pan pretty well. But obviously not well enough. And I don't know how I'm going to get them out of the pan. I'm not that concerned because I bought that donut pan a long time ago, and I don't want to make donuts in it anyway because it's not really healthy using Teflon for cooking. So if you're thinking, oh, well, geesh, I really miss having donuts, and but I can't have wheat flour, maybe think of something else, because honestly, if you're having to make an almond flour kind of donut in a pan like this, you're heating up Teflon. That's not healthy. This is not a healthy kind of cooking style, right? You got to try to think, okay, well, I want to try to eat healthier, then I'm going to use my cast iron pan, say, and not, you know, so I don't have to put oil, and I can just you cook with broth more, this and that, right? You're trying to think up different strategies for how you can cook healthier and use healthier ingredients. So I don't entirely think this book is really very healthy, even though it's reported to be. And the recipes, I mean, a lot of the things...
Is it reported or purport? You're just going on the basis of the blurbs, or have you read this?
Well, just on the basis of the...
Okay, there we go. Yep.
Cover. I mean, it's... What would you like me to say? I can say whatever you like me to say.
Probably purported.
Okay.
You know, if it's not some scientist or something.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I don't mind, because anyway, and a lot of the recipes that I've found in here, she'll call for gluten-free breadcrumbs or whatever. Like, say this, page 177, Mujadara meatballs in spiced tomato sauce, which actually sounds yummy.
Well, I mean, if you go with some of your, you know, vegetarian balls or stuff like that.
Yeah, well, these are vegetarian too.
That's good. That's good.
But
it actually looks pretty good.
Yes, it does. But I mean, and you could do that. You could use the gluten-free breadcrumbs, and it's probably not going to be any healthier for you. So, I mean, it's whatever, unless you have a gluten intolerance. But for the most part, I think people have a Roundup intolerance, and that's why they have had problems with eating wheat-based products. So
How long have they been doing that round? Long time, eh?
since 2000 or something.
Yeah.
And
I wonder when gluten really started taking off. I think you might be right.
yeah. So anyway, so this recipe calls for ground flax seeds, which again, I don't like having flax used in cooking because that oil shouldn't be heated. So I don't think that's entirely healthy. And plus, most of her recipes called for cans of lentils or whatever, and this one calls for 2 cans of lentils. And if you're going to try to eat healthy, it's never healthy to choose the can. You should choose to cook. So,
They're
and
lined with horrible stuff, right? Okay.
well, sure, and plus it's a waste. People think, oh, well, I can recycle this. All right, but it's a waste of energy to recycle it.
That's if
when
it
you don't
actually
have to,
gets
if it
recycled.
actually gets recycled. So, I mean, if you sprout just get in the habit of it. Get in the habit of having a colander with lentils sprouting. And then that's pretty much almost ready to go. I mean, it doesn't take long to cook once they're sprouted like that, really. You just stick it in the slow cooker, and with the rest of your soup ingredients, that's how I made this soup. And it's good. So, anyway. So I wouldn't recommend this book because, well, I will try those donuts without making it chocolate. If I can get that out of the pan. But frankly, I mean, that's a lot of the ground walnuts, the ground almonds. That's some expensive recipe to be stuck to my pan. So I'm not really thrilled with that recipe right now, and I don't know if I will be.
Jackhammer to get that stuff out of there.
Okay, so why did I mark this? Oh, so this book, Nut Butter. Now, these people sell their nut butter at the farmer's market, and they decided, oh, let's write a cookbook, or a recipe book, whatever.
Where's
Not
this
really
from?
I don't know.
Let's see what's published from.
Anyway, this one, one thing that I have a problem with is the toasting of the nuts. Now, they are using almonds and cashews, which I don't know how, and coconut. They're toasting coconut, and for that, I don't know that I care that much. But when you're toasting stuff like, even that, I mean, it might get a little too toasty, and then it's not healthy anymore. But if you're just warming it up, it shouldn't be too bad. But then when you're doing other things, like there's some green in here, so there's pepinos and like the, what do you call it? Pumpkin seeds, and other things in there, which then those all shouldn't be heated. So yes, it makes it yummier to toast it. And at the beginning of this book, the women are writing about how it improves the digestibility of nuts. And I'm thinking, in what way? Because that oil, it should not be heated. Like it might be okay for some, but not for the, here, pumpkin seed almond butter. Toasted pumpkin seeds, page 52. That shouldn't be heated. That shouldn't be toasted. I don't think that's healthy. Now, if you're okay with that, whatever.
Well,
I
here's
mean,
the
maybe
deal.
you'll like this book. I don't know.
Nuts are expensive.
Yeah.
They are full of goodies.
Yeah.
They're tasty.
I don't think you need to toast them to be.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
It's
They're
just
good.
shocking. The one thing you might want to do is chestnuts. Roasting on oak. Chestnuts taste
They
like
taste
garbage.
terrible.
Okay.
Yes.
But anything else, what's the problem out there? Toast bread or something like that. Don't toast nuts. So even if you're not making something negative, I'm pretty sure you'd be taking many of those goodies possibly, at least some of them, down to zero. Don't do that. That's insane.
Yeah. So
What were they doing that with?
all of them, all
like,
of their nuts and all their seeds.
Pumpkin seeds taste great. You don't have
Yeah.
to toast them.
No.
Were they talking about cashews or something like that?
Yeah,
Someone who
cashews,
toasts
almonds.
cashews is well, I don't know. They're nuts.
Yeah,
Cashews are
I
just
know.
tasty.
Well, they taste good toasted, but you know they
Yeah.
taste good not.
Right.
So whatever. So page 51, they recommend if you're apparently your nut butter will keep for a year without refrigeration, and I was like, wow, that's impressive to learn that. But they say if the nut butter hardens over time due to the coconut, warm it by placing the jar in a bowl of hot water or by heating in the microwave for 15 seconds. And I don't know that it's really a good idea to be heating it in the microwave. I know I've done stuff like that, but anyway. Now what was I going to say about these cookies? Turkish coffee chocolate chip cookies. Oh, I was going to mention they use something called 2 tablespoons collagen peptides. And I have never seen that in a recipe book before. So they're making a bunch of different cookie treats. This one has, well, I'll just list off the ingredients. 1 egg, so that's not much. Vanilla extract, cardamom, almond, cashew butter, maple syrup, coconut sugar, espresso powder, baking soda, almond flour, the collagen peptides, and vegan chocolate chips and cacao nibs, flaky sea salt for finishing. So, the recipe looks interesting. I don't know anything about collagen peptides, so that's why I marked that off as, what's that?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It could be very healthy, or it could be.
It could be. I have no idea.
The other side of things, I don't know if it'd be anything in between, really.
So, this recipe book, she makes some grain-free seeded crackers in here, which look absolutely beautiful.
Let's see. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, show you. But I don't know that it's a good idea to be heating these seeds when, I mean, her oven is only preheated to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, so maybe. And there's a granola matcha black sesame seed granola, which looks absolutely beautiful. I'll just show you that one.
You know, seeds aren't that special.
Huh.
Now, I used to eat it with seeds with, along with nuts and dried fruit on cereal. But you could have it on healthier cereal like oatmeal. Would be absolutely great. Just chuck some seeds in there. It actually livens up the oatmeal, and it livens up the seeds. So I wouldn't advise putting sugar on, like with the cereals in the boxes. I'd never put sugar on. That goes back to about 74, so 45 years. But even if this stuff isn't sweetened, you know, like it's just like regular oatmeal, like not Robin Hood or Quaker Oats. The seeds just kind of pumps things up. So now I kind of like putting nuts in too.
Yeah, I know you do. But anyway, this recipe book, where I got the beet hot chocolate recipe from, was page 87 the other day. I made that for myself and James, and I didn't mind it the way her recipe was. For James, I added the sugar, and he said it needed that.
It needed it, I'm pretty sure.
So
it was passable.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you, or you know, it was.
I
can think of
raw
better ways
cane
to use
sugar.
chocolate.
It was
You
brown.
notice how I was suffering with that ginger. Did them more than once. It was chocolate, but I'd rather have it that way. Like take some beet juice and then the chocolate afterwards, right? And because if it's nasty stuff, and the beet juice is not, if it's a small dose, it's not nearly as nasty as ginger for me.
I didn't mind it. I think I could drink it that way more often.
Well, I could drink it that way, but I just would prefer the 2 separate doses.
But I'm going
Everyone's
to
gonna
try
be
this
different.
recipe next. So this is page 91. She has a recipe for superfood chocolate milk, and there's an option of warming it, and I'm going to do that. So you make almond coconut milk, or whatever, or use some other. I'm going to use almond milk. And then you put cocoa powder, mesquite powder, cocoa butter, extra virgin coconut oil, maca powder, vanilla extract, cinnamon, and sea salt in it.
So what's with that mesquite?
Well, apparently it's kind of sweet. It'll give it kind of a sweet, smoky-ish flavor to it. So I look forward to trying it.
I thought it'd be one of the, like there are some healthy things too, right?
Well, the maca
That were the
root.
maca root.
So,
I thought it might be
and
the-
I mean, there's cinnamon and.
Yeah, a lot of
Anyway.
people like cinnamon.
So, I look forward to trying this recipe.
Well, that's a hefty looking book, I gotta say.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing about it that the cover, it is visually appealing for people like me who are looking for something wholesome and natural, right? This cover, you can see it's far different than this. This, I would think, for me, it's more appealing because I'm looking for healthy things, and this looks more like a young sort of urban vegetarian might be interested in that cover, and that really is who that's designed for. The recipes in that one, a lot of them use, like I said, canned beans and stuff like that, so it's pretty instant. This one is a little more real.
What
so,
is this feta that's supposed to be on top of that, or is that like
it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't know what
it's some sort of ground
recipe
cheese
that
or
is.
something like that, right? Or it's cottage cheese?
Oh, I
maybe.
doubt it
Maybe
is.
it's supposed to be okay.
Um,
Like you know it, I haven't.
because
gone
I
through
read the book.
it. There you go.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Here I am trying to
But-
make it look better than it is, right?
I don't know. There was one recipe that had some sort of a it wasn't semolina, what was it?
Couscous.
Weird, and I was like, why in the world did they use that? But I think that might be that. But anyway, I don't know. But this whole food cooking, she makes things like coffee out of dandelion root and stuff like that, right? So this one, they have made an appropriate cover to attract me. And this
see
one,
that
that cover might have attracted me when I was about 20 years old. But one thing that didn't attract me about this is there's a picture of her right near the beginning, which I shouldn't say this, it'll be rude, but lady's got a lot of sun in her days. And that tells me, well, she's been working out on the farm, whatever. But maybe not. I honestly, do I sound like a jerk saying that?
Well, she might have a skin condition. It's hard to say. So we'll leave her that out. But I think she's just bronzed herself too many times without, wearing a good big sun hat. You've never
And
been
without-
embarrassed of wearing
No.
a sun hat.
And
wearing
without
long sleeves.
getting enough omega-3 in your diet. If you get enough omega-3, then it acts as a sunblock. So, but a lot of vegetarian or vegan people, they might be skimping on the omega-3. Honestly, it's tough to get enough omega-3 with
It's tough
flax
to get,
seeds and stuff.
It's tough to get a lot of
And
stuff
even
you need.
yeah,
I mean, the vitamin B stuff. You've been finding vegetable sources for the vitamin Bs. No. But
I've been trying to
you got to
keep you
work at
healthy.
it, right?
But-
To find them, much less prepare them and make
Well,
them
there's some
tasty.
things like, I don't know. I don't have a problem with you eating fish. You
Well, the thing to
get
do
what
is
you
to
need.
try
You
to
don't seem to
eat
hate
the
it,
stuff
so.
from the. Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm not a big fan of it. Try to get ocean stuff, not terrestrial stuff. The terrestrial stuff, I think, has more.
Yeah, but
100%.
honestly, I really wonder about it because if you think about it, you're wanting to get the healthy oils from cold water fish, and then that is canned, like the fish that you're buying
The
is
stuff that I eat.
the stuff that you
Yeah.
eat. Because I mean, we're
I
not
don't want
wealthy.
to. Well, that's part of it, and I don't want to. I'm lousy at cooking. And that's to a large extent because I'm lazy at cooking. You know, that's the way guys tend to be. And I don't want you having to put up with that smell. I don't like the smell either. You know,
Yeah.
like fried fish or whatever, baked probably isn't that much
No,
better. So.
I like we could get some and I could barbecue it for you
Yeah.
for the next. Like
Anyway,
I love
it's-
barbecuing in the fall.
Yeah. Well, when it's
Whatever.
outside, it's not that bad.
No.
But I don't even like you handling it. The thing about the canned stuff is, yeah, you make sandwiches for me oftentimes.
And I don't know
but
what this.
you know, that's something I can do myself. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
but what I was going to say about the fish is when it's canned, then it's heated. So then you've heated that cold water fish oil, which I don't know how healthy that is. Honestly,
Probably.
it's probably not. It's probably best to eat it cold, just like the Japanese do in sushi. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one reason why the Japanese are maybe the longest lived. I won't say nationality, but group of people, because apparently when they start adopting diets, so-called Western diets, their life expectancy goes down to what it is for the average over here.
oh, and you might have been wondering what this squash is. No, no. It was given to us,
Yeah.
and it's obviously a hybrid of some kind. I don't know what it is. I think it's a cross between a zucchini and a pink pumpkin, but I couldn't tell you.
Tastes a bit bitter. Is that what you found? Or
Well,
just-
it smells like pink pumpkin flesh. So I don't know though what it is. It's just it's a hybrid of some
Anyway,
kind.
It's not bad.
Yeah, whatever. I baked it in the oven and it makes a good soup bowl.
Yeah.
And a
I'm
weird shape
scraping a
soup
bit of
bowl.
it up to be able to use it.
Mhm.
Got more soup.
Oh, always. So anyway, I guess I'm out of things to say about these recipe books. I wouldn't really
Can I see
recommend.
the cover?
Yeah, if you're gonna get one of these recipe books, this one's the best one to get.
It'd be fairly
This one's
expensive.
basically, you read it and go, wow, is it ever easy to make nut butter? But you read one recipe for it and you can come up with your own flavors. Like basically they have a bunch of different recipes in the back here which use some of their different flavored nut butters in the front, but you could just buy your own almond butter or buy your own almonds, make almond butter, and then just add the flavors to as you're making the other recipes. That makes more sense to me. I don't know if I'd want a whole jar of, but maybe you will if you really like flavored almond butter. Then go for it, try it. But basically you're making pretty much the same recipe every time, right? It's just you're making different flavors of nut butter. But it's good to get it's good to develop these skills where you go, oh, well, this isn't that hard to make. I could do this. And like just things I had never realized how easy it is to make my own. Say oat flour. You just whir oats in the food processor or oatmeal for very short time, like 30 seconds or something, and you have flour. It's just that easy. And a lot of things are just like that. I mean, the first time you make your own protein bars, you think, oh, well, am I going to be able to pull this off? And depending on what